As a self-proclaimed niche guy, there's nothing I love more than sipping on a fresh matcha as I read some literature in the park. Some people would say I'm performative, but I prefer the term cool. Don't go anywhere, because today's episode, for the final episode of This or That, me, Rowan, and our special guest will be breaking down the top male performative items. Audio? Do we have any?
Or that.
Oh. Welcome back to This or That, the most niche show on WTOP. My name is Caden Nagel.
And my name is Rowan Astrino. And for the first time in This or That history, our guest, Sam Lewis.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sam Lewis. I am also a self-proclaimed performative male, and I'm super excited to be on here to share my wisdom.
We're excited to have you on.
No, thank you guys. Definitely. Thank you.
Well, to start, we should explain what exactly This or That is, like we do every other show. This or That is a bracket show, which means each week we will choose a niche topic and battle the best items in our new state-of-the-art decision-making process, the This or That Super Selector, which will find our winner each show.
Each item will have a seed, with each side having a 1 seed that'll get a first round bye. Then the second seed will play the 7th seed, the 6th will play the 3rd, and so on and so forth. At the end, we should end up with the ultimate item from that category, and we can crown it the This or That Holy Grail.
Stick around to find out the best contestants for this week's edition of This or That.
$50. You better watch out. You gotta swat you like a bug.
That is like not.
Welcome back to This or That, the most loopy and whimsical show on WTOP. So, without further ado, I think we should get into our first round of matchups.
Yep,
Hey.
I mean, definitely. All right, so for on the left side, we have our first seed, which is Claro. She's going to get the bye week. And then we're going to move right into our first matchup. We got the tote bag. Everyone wants to show off their little tote bags. Versus penny boards.
Ooh.
So, personally, when I look at these two items, I am very familiar with the penny board, as I don't know if you guys know this, I'm a big time skater, you know,
Ooh,
and
really?
I used to have a penny board. So, penny board is very near and dear to my heart, but I mean, how do you not pick tote bag?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you know, I got the strawberry shortcake tote bag going on here.
Right on.
Tote bag, it's an elite performative male item. But when we're talking about people trying to be something that you aren't, the penny board, like, as a skater myself, the penny board is just something that, you know, that person, they say they skate, but they don't really skate. They ride around, you know? And to me, there's a difference. So I think it's more performative to own a penny board.
Wow, okay, I would have to agree with the tote bag, and the reason I say this is the performance of the tote. I have nothing in this bag right now.
I don't have anything in mind.
It's this all as a performance, and I don't know, it's a little bit dainty, you know, something we'll get to later, the daintiness of being a performative male. You know, but real quick, I want to shout out my performative male, Leonard, from his performative male brand, Cubo. This is their totes that they make. If you want one, you know, look it up. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I would go tote bag here, but I respect the penny board opinions from both of you guys. I'm just not a skater myself, you know.
Yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Tote bag 2-1 takes it. I guess they move on from the first round.
All right, well, the next one, we got Labubu, a staple. And then keys on the belt loop. All right, if you ask me personally, Labubus run the world last year. The Labubu is one of, if not, maybe the most influential little item. And, you know, it maybe could be topped one day, but when I see the Labubu, this shows me just a random item that makes no sense, that people just gave worth to, and everyone just blew up on it. Everyone needs to have it, so I have to go to Labubu here.
Yeah, and is that not the definition of performative? I mean, spending 40, 50 bucks on a little toy that's this size that you put on your bag just to look cool, that is so performative. But, I mean, we got to talk about the big dog in the room here. Keys on belt loop.
Seriously.
Why are your keys on your belt loop? Put them in your pocket. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, just trying to show up. Like, when everyone first got their keys and, like, junior year, sophomore year, they got the big lanyard. You're just trying to show off that you can drive. We get it, man. You know, we get it. My vote's gonna have to be for keys on belt loop.
I'm gonna go with you there because who really is the Labubu without the belt loop to hold it on? You know what I mean?
You got a point. That's a good point.
So, but love Labubu, for sure.
All right, so we definitely have to go with the keys on the belt loop.
Yeah.
You guys made a good point. All right, next for the final matchup of this side, we have your run-of-the-mill thrift store versus the dainty jewelry. Now, this one's a really hard one, but to me, thrift store, that screams performative. And just like when all this performative stuff was getting really, really popular, you really started seeing the so-called performative males and the so-called performative people going around, you know, with their vintage, you know, 80s band shirt. Thrift just, like, to me, you can't have performative without going to a thrift store.
That's a fair point. A lot of the things on the list, including dainty jewelry, you can get at a thrift store. I will get my case for dainty jewelry, though. I feel like, I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm not a jewelry guy, but sometimes people just go overboard with it. I see dudes be walking out 12 bracelets, you know. They got a shark tooth necklace, and like, it's doing too much, man. And I just think that, well, maybe you got that dainty jewelry from a thrift store. The fact that you're putting that on every day, like, I mean, normal people go to a thrift store.
That's very true, and that brings me to my case as well with the thrift. Similar to what Roland was saying, everything is there, and you know, especially with the shark tooth necklace, you brought up a point. Somebody will buy a shark tooth necklace to a beach they've ever been from. Where was it from? It was from the thrift store. All performance comes from the thrift, I think. So giving it to the thrift store.
Yeah,
they love to mention it too. Oh, I thrifted this. Look at my
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's just a little aura that comes with it. You know, it shows you that you love the planet. It shows that you really care. You know.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's what they say.
All right, so thrift store is gonna have to take it, I guess. Moving on to my side, the obvious one, see, the powerhouse matcha, kind of the thing that kicked off the whole performative male trend, I would say, in a way. Bringing us to a next matchup, the 2 versus the 7. We got wired earbuds versus loafers.
Nice. Got the loafers.
We got the loafers on. Show them off. You know, hey, dude, shout out. These are most comfortable shoes. Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored.
But my vote here is really going to have to be with the wired headphones. I think these are an elite performance. I mean, like, while they are cheap and they're a great alternative, people do doing too much. You know, you got the over-ear
Sure.
dangle. You're not even listening to any music. It's just like a fashion thing now. And you want to say, you know, I'm niche, I'm vintage. You know, I wear stuff that's out of date now. It seems like it's gonna run over loafers in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I really just can't not say wired earbuds, you know? Personally, the wired earbuds to me are just like one of the greatest phenomenons that really man has created. As a big wired headphone enthusiast, I've maybe run through a pair of wired headphones in my prime, maybe at least a couple pairs in a month. So I break them, but they're nice, they're cheap. I always get more. I have to say the wired headphones.
Yeah, I think we might have a clean sweep here. I also run through the wired headphones, and it gets to the point where you're spending more each year on a pair of wired headphones than you would on a pair of AirPods.
Yeah.
And that screams performative to me,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
All for the dangle, man. All for the dangle. So wired headphones get taken 3-0. Moving on to our next matchup, we got novels, literature, taking on the disposable camera. I mean, these are two staples. Obviously, you see, everyone's got to get that disposable camera for the summer. It's so fun, but then you have to wait a month to get the pictures. I mean, it's an experience, and that is so performative to me. Just the experience of taking it, sending it in, you get your pictures back, you hang them up on your wall, and then also when you pull it out at a party, it gets everyone's attention. You know, you got
That's a good
to
point.
wind the film. It's just it feels, the whole process is performative.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might have to wait, you said cameras? Or?
My vote's for cameras, yeah.
Okay, because personally, I don't know if I can agree with that. Because, I mean, when we were discussing novels, I think we were specifically saying feminine literature. And, you know, if you say performative to me, I'm thinking someone who's trying to be overly smart, someone who's trying to be a little snarly, maybe saying that they, really care about certain topics they don't. And the main way to show off that you know about something is if you have a book about it.
That is true. If you have a book, that means you know it.
Yeah. And as you guys were talking about before with the tote bag, you know, just having the empty tote bag, what do you put in the tote bag? I mean, I guess both of these could work for this, but 9 times out of 10, I think the performative man will have a novel over disposable camera.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
No, I got to agree with you. And a lot of the times these fellas reading, they're on page 2.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
and maybe they skimmed the first one. So a little
Shout
bit,
out
little bit.
LeBron.
I was gonna say the LeBron. Yeah. So, yeah, novels I think takes the cake for me there
Wow.
as
All
well.
right, I've been
Novels.
beaten out, then novels moves on. Which brings us to our last matchup of the first round. We got the classic quarter zip taking on jorts. These are two staples of the performative male outfit. I would just say, most performative males you see, they got one of these two things. And for me, honestly, I'm wearing it. I love it. I have so many of these. I'm gonna have to go with the QZ. It's a newer kid on the block, but it's really packing a punch.
I mean, this one's definitely a harder one for me. You know, two outfits that two pieces of clothing that really put a staple on this whole idea of performative male. QZ, as you said before, kind of the newer kid to the block. Personally, I love my QZs. I rock them all the time. I've got at least 4 QZs in my closet right now, other than this one. But, you know, the jorts, that's just honestly, I wish I could wear jorts. I don't think I have the legs for it, personally. But, you know, I gotta kind of lean toward jorts here.
Yeah, I respect that. Jorts enthusiast myself, and you could rock a pair of jorts, man.
Yo, I
I'll slide
appreciate
you a
that,
pair.
Sam.
But the QZ, if you were anywhere on TikTok, that was the phenomenon. And the quarter zip went hand in hand with matcha. You know, it goes hand in hand with the tote bag and everything. I mean, that is the performative male. And you guys just look amazing in them. So
Thank you.
I got to give the
Yeah,
cake to the QZ as well.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, that brings us to the end of our first round. We got all our winners. Let's see who gets eliminated and who sticks around. Don't go anywhere, because more of This or That is coming up right now on WTOP 10.
Do you like reading? Do you like reading books? Do you like looking at books? Do you like having a collection of books in your living room?
Now, before we get into the nitty gritty, spoiler alert. Okay, or why did I write this in yellow? I told you. Welcome back between the pages.
Good evening and welcome to Jeopardy! I am your host, Joe.
Hello, Simon.
Joe is at this place. And I'm very concerned to see what Piper's answer is here. Sorry, it's a 98-page rule book.
You guys are stunned still?
Joe, I'm gonna sound like a little snob here. It was not founded by Ray Kroc.
Welcome back, everybody. Season 2 of Oswego Lazo.
Welcome back to This or That, the most righteous and antic show on WTOP. We're going to hop right back into our second round.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So
Yeah,
with the 1 seed here, we got Claro, and I think we were specifically saying a Claro album, maybe on vinyl.
Okay.
And that's going up against our first matchup's winner, the Tote Bag. So,
Yes.
all right. So I'll kick it off here. Personally, I'm looking at two powerhouses of this topic. You know, the tote bag may be the most useful but useless object on this whole bracket. And then Claro, I mean, Claro screams performative. She might be the most performative artist out there. When I listen to Claro, I get two vibes: sadness, and I'm speaking the most despair, lowest sadness. Or I'm hearing, wow, I've had a good life.
Yeah.
You know?
What's
So-
more performative than that?
Exactly. You know, just something to really dawn on my life. But I mean, it's the tote bag. At the end of the day, you can fit so many things in this tote bag. And how cool it looks, this just screams thrift. So I gotta go with tote bag.
Tote bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, when you saw a lot of these performative male look-alike competitions or whatever, I feel like these were the two staples. Everybody had a tote bag. So many people had like some sort of vinyl.
Yeah.
And I think definitely, Claro is a. I'm not the most familiar with Claro, but it does seem like less of a bro artist or whatever.
Definitely.
As some would
Sure,
say.
yeah.
So not to say that there isn't real Claro fans out there, but. I don't know. My vote here is going to go with the thing I brought today, the tote bag. It's going to have to.
Yeah.
You know, it's just staple.
No, legend. I will plead my case for Claro a little bit, you know. But yeah, again, I mean, she's in the tote bag a lot with the vinyl, and that Juna, her song off Charm, her album from maybe that was 2024. All the men were listening to that, at least at my school. That was the
Yeah.
cool thing, you know. You would dap each other up, listen to our headphones, and Juna would be playing. But I don't think I can deny the tote bag. Again, the album fits in the tote bag, so
Plus the
definitely a powerhouse.
And the keys.
Everything. I guess.
Everything fits.
Everything
The
fits in the
novel,
tote bag.
everything.
Yeah.
All right, so tote bag's moving on.
Yeah, tote bag moves
So
on.
the next matchup, we got Keys on the Belt Loop, maybe a personal favorite, versus the thrift store.
Oh my God.
Now, I mean, these are just like, you want to see the Keys on the Belt Loop pushing, you know?
He's a good kid.
This is a good kid.
Yeah.
You know, everyone really overlooks him. Kind of a niche option, but he excels in that one little facet that he is really good at. But I mean, it's a thrift store. Thrift store is performative, so I'm gonna say thrift store.
Okay.
That's fair, but I mean, I'm just loving this little Keys on the Belt Loop. It's such a like calling sign of a dude who's trying to look a little bit cooler. He's like, you know what, what's cool there? I'm just gonna clip these right on my belt loop. It's so performative to me. It has to have my vote.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll with Caden here. Sorry to break your guys' brackets, but I think Keys on the Belt Loop upsets the Thrift here.
Wow, we're having a little
100%.
Cinderella run here
Peak
from Keys on the Belt
performativism
Loop.
there. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it before, and now I'm really thinking about it. This might be the most, Keys on the Belt Loop might be the most useless, out of the way, kind of performative thing you can do. Could you imagine every single time you want to use one of your keys or something on that keychain, you gotta keep taking the keys off and put them back on the belt loop? I mean, personally, like if I have something like that in my outfit, maybe I'll start the day off with the keys on the belt loop. I'm taking it off. I'll put it right back on. Taking it off again. That's going right in the pocket. There's no way I'm putting it back on the belt loop.
Yeah. Well, so there you have it. Keys on the Belt Loop moves on, which brings us to the other side. We got the 1 seed Matcha taking on wired earbuds. I will say, probably matchup of the bracket in my opinion. Yeah. These are Tyson Holyfield level heavyweights taking on here. But I love matcha. Love is a strong word. I like matcha. My mom's been drinking matcha forever. So she's the original performative male, if you would say. But earbuds, man, it's just such a, I think it's a staple of 2000s like outfits. Like it's part of it. And those old iPod commercials where they're dancing around, they're all black with the white earbuds. Oh my God, they just screams, I'm cool.
Yeah.
In a way, you know?
I get that.
So it's gonna still have my vote. I'm running high on earbuds.
I do like the earbuds, and as I said before, I was a big earbuds enthusiast back in my early days of high school before I had AirPods. But I mean, I still remember to this day. I think about it all the time. The first time I ever tried matcha. This is a revolutionary tea here. Like, this is the perfect substitute for if you don't like coffee and you really don't like tea, Matcha is delicious. And if you don't like matcha, you just haven't tried good enough matcha, I guess. Which is pretty impossible. I feel like every place is pretty good matcha. It's kind of hard to mess it up. But I'm going to have to go with matcha.
Yeah, I got to go with matcha as well here, especially to all those performative men who get it with about 40 million pumps of cold foam. And at that point, they're just drinking whipped cream. So performative. Yeah. So yeah, matcha takes the cake there.
Wow. All right, so matcha has it. Moving on to our last matchup of the second round, we got novels versus quarter zips. Early out, I'm just going to say, I love the quarter zip. It's a staple of most of my outfits, and I think that it deserves to be in this Final Four.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even have to think about it. I'm going the QZ.
You're going QZ?
I really can't see novel beating it. I've never been a big reader myself. I'm trying to get into it, but the QZ is just the QZ at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse. Everyone's a little performative when they throw on a QZ. And you don't look good reading a book unless you have a quarter zip on. So I think I got to go the QZ there as well.
All right, well, then I guess that means QZ's moving on.
To the Final Four.
Final Four. Ooh. Don't go anywhere. Right after this break, we have more This or That.
We had someone who could tell us what we should and shouldn't watch.
Well, do we have a show for you?
Who are you?
What are you doing in my bag?
On Be Kind and Rewind, we will go through and review all your favorite movie franchises and tell you which ones you should and shouldn't watch from the perspective of normal movie fans. Well, be sure to check out Be Kind and Rewind on WTOP 10. Go home, that's 3 hours from now.
Maybe that's the best thing you can do.
But after he gets possessed,
his show becomes a smash hit.
Now he's got the greenest show on WTOP 10.
A lot of green going on tonight.
We'll be holding on forever.
Don't miss the limited run of
those great people being.
If you like action, romance,
you're watching this.
and highbrow humor.
Surface is this?
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
There's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back to the most loosey-goosey and snaggle-nosed show on WTOP, This or That. Let's jump right into our third round here. We have, for the first matchup, the tote bag and then the keys on the belt loop. I mean, personally, I don't know if the keys on the belt loop should have beat thrift. That was my personal hot take. So I have to go tote bag. I mean, we all got tote bags on. As you said before, all those performative male competitions, they always had the tote bag, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with that one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love keys on the belt loop. It had a great Cinderella run here, a little climb, but tote bag is just staple. I feel like it's just, if I see you wearing a tote bag, I'm thinking you're a little bit performative.
No, I'm completely with you guys there. It's been a good run, but come on. We all got him on here. It's got to be a tote.
Definitely.
All right, so then on my side, we have Matcha taking on the quarter zip. I mean, you know where I'm going with this. Quarter zip has to be probably my favorite clothing item on this list, definitely. Also, have thrifted a few of them, and it's just a daily wear for me. Nice and easy. A little bit annoying sometimes without the hood, but definitely I like them more than I like Matcha, so.
Yeah, I mean, quarter zip is honestly just the perfect outfit, like the piece of clothing, to where you can be comfortable, but you also look professional and good. And so that's just why I'm going to have to agree. You know, quarter zip, I love my quarter zips. I got to go quarter zip.
Yeah, well, sorry, Matcha, but we got to go with the QZ here. So.
Yeah, which brings us to the finale, tote bag versus quarter zip in the championship matchup. Ron, you want to start and give us what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, these are two very powerhouse items. It's honestly a really hard one. I think, honestly, I'm just going to have to go with the quarter zip. As much as I love the tote bag and as much as it's so essential to the performative male idea, personally, I don't really think I'm the biggest performative male, but I just like my quarter zips, you know? It's hard not to.
Fair.
That is fair. For me, personally, I'm also going to have to agree. I wear quarter zips a lot. And the point you said about them being professional and also casual, definitely agree with that. So that's going to be my winner of this bracket.
Okay, I mean, I would go tote bag here. I love the tote. You can keep a quarter zip in the tote. You know, that's my only case. I'll plead to you guys, but I mean, look at you guys with the QZs. I respect the choice there. So.
Well, there you have it. This week's Holy Grail is the quarter zip. We've completed the most performative bracket, found our Holy Grail. Unfortunately, we're running out of time on the This or That Season 1 finale. So first of all, I just want to thank Sam so much. She's been a delight to have on. And if you want to give your pitch to the camera,
really quick,
shout out
guys,
anything.
WMYO radio show on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on the record. These fellas have been on. They're going to come on maybe this week as well. Definitely give it a listen. We get into all things music. And again, thank you guys for having me on. This was an absolute blast.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been so great having you on, Sam. Next, me and Kaden would really like to thank our crew, you know, Sam, Fiona, Alana, Leon, Austin, Jenna, and Michael, who's not here today, but, you know, he's always performing well as TD. So, we'd like to thank you guys for helping us behind the scenes. You guys really make the episodes run smoothly.
Yeah, and lastly, we'd like to thank you, our audience, for tuning in here with us on WTOP 10 every other week. This season, it's just been an absolute blast, man.
Definitely.
It's been so fun. Hopefully, we will be back in August with Season 2 of This or That. This episode went so good. We're going to have on some more guests. Maybe Sam will make another appearance.
Yeah, maybe,
you know,
yeah.
it's all good and fun. Make sure you check out all the rest of the programming WTOP 10 has scheduled for this week. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up as the semester is wrapping up. And I just want to say, as always, remember to stay classy, SUNY Oswego.